It's a trucking, transportation, and lifestyle show like none other.
Man, you call this a life?
Road Gang Radio is back for another half hour of the best transpo show in the known universe.
We come in peace. Well, actually, we're falling to pieces.
Let's see if we can achieve liftoff, Phone Master Dre.
Oh, we sure did. We lifted off into the last hour of pure Lindsay Lawler from the House of Degas and also the House of Franklin. Good morning, Lindsay.
I like pure Lindsay Lawler. Thank you.
Yeah, it's good for the soul.
It's good for the soul. It's good for the goose. It's good for the gander. Broadcasting live over here from the Acrisure Studios in Franklin, Tennessee. I'm okay, guys. This next guest, I don't even know where to begin. This is so up my alley. This is so wonderfully, wildly weird and human and soulful in the best of ways. I'm so excited. So every now and then we meet someone, have someone on the show whose work doesn't just sound interesting or intriguing or maybe like so out there, but you're like, oh, but I'm intrigued. But it actually it actually feels like something. There's something deeper going on here. My guest today, Alex Urbina, is one of those people. Alex has spent more than 3 decades helping people awaken to themselves. Dre, this is obviously such a great counterpiece to our last guest,
Yes.
who is Alex. So you know, we just had on. Hi, Alex. I'm gonna dote on you, but I want you to know our last guest was an internationally renowned photographer who photographs everyone from Michelle Obama to Dolly Parton, and her whole thing is making people feel seen so that they can shine their light out in the world. And so the fact that Alex is somebody who helps people awaken to themselves just falls right in line there. He's a husband of 33 years, a father, a grandfather. I say all those things so you know that this is a grounded human, and a teacher who's guided thousands through healing and purpose. Now he's doing that through something he calls medicine music. His album, The Return of the Purple Frequency, which I was geeking out to yesterday. It blends funk, gospel, soul, and ancestral rhythms with frequencies designed to move you and restore you and help you remember who you are. Each track is described as a transmission, a broadcast meant for awakening. Thank you, Jesus. So Alex channels this work in a partnership. Okay, this is going to sound out there, and I'm here for it. And he's going to dive into what this means in a partnership with a soul frequency named Raim. Am I saying that right, Alex?
It's actually Ram.
Ram. Okay, Ram. And that might sound mysterious, but we're going to explore it in a very grounded human way. So please make welcome to the show a guest I've been so looking forward to talking to. Alex, good morning, friend.
Good morning. Thank you for having me today.
Okay, Alex, here's where I want to start because so you know, you and I speak the same language. I'll just put it that way so you know. And but the vast majority of our audience are over the road truck drivers. They spend a lot of time alone. A lot of time with their thoughts, and I introduce a lot of the woo on this show, but try to find ways to make it, have a universal conversation about it. So let's just start here. If you were talking to someone who's never stepped foot in the spiritual world, we'll call it. This isn't a religious conversation. This is just all that is conversation. How would you describe? We'll start with your music. How would you describe what medicine music at its core really is?
So medicine music is designed to help people remember who they are. It's not entertainment, it's not performance, but it's a frequency that helps the nervous system soften, reorganize, and come back to itself. So it's about remembrance and remembering who we are at the core.
And so with that, what would you say most people are forgetting right now? Both as a collective and as a self.
Well, we're forgetting who we are internally as a whole. I think there's just a lot of noise in the world, and there's a lot of unhealed trauma and a lot of distortion in our energy field. You got to remember that before we're a physical body, we're an energy body. We're a spirit inside of a human journey. And until you've remembered that or have that kind of awakening, you live your life thinking you're just a regular human 3D person, but we're more than that. And so when you awaken and remember that, then you realize that we're an energy first. And in our energy field, there's a lot of distortion and trauma and unresolved grief, and we can go down the naming of the gamut of issues that are at the energy root cause of all of our symptomatic issues like sickness, illness, disease, suffering, pain, and all that kind of stuff. So medicine music, when I create it, I use intention, I use presence, and I also allow the divine frequency to flow through me to create these healing sounds for humanity.
So I talk a lot. I have a show, Alex, on this platform called We Should Write, and it's a show about the healing power of writing, of the physical writing, putting pen to paper, letting it flow writing, getting those things out of us. And I think if I live out in the woods, Alex, and if I go outside and immediately I have a whole song, as a songwriter myself, I have a whole song dumped in my head. I'm like, well, that's clearly not me. That's obviously a gift, right? That's obviously coming from somewhere else. And there's no other way to explain that. And so that's, I think we can all channel intuition, whatever you want to call it. I do mine through writing. And, so that's why I found this project of yours so interesting. Because, you're channeling a soul form. If you can talk to us about that and how, maybe make it make sense to somebody who does not make music. I listened to it, by the way. It is really good. It got me going. And I'm a total naysayer or not naysayer. I'm a total, skeptic when it comes to other people's music. It just takes a lot to wow me because I'm cynical. But hearing this, I'm like, it changed something, and that is the frequency that you're writing, channeling, recording from. So speak to us a little bit about when you found out, like, what was that moment when you realized I'm being gifted a frequency, an idea, a something? How did you understand what was happening and tune into that in that moment?
All right, I'm going to try to simplify it as much as I can. So
okay.
I'm a shaman. So if you know anything about shamans, our job is to go into meditation and bridge the unseen world to the seen world. And so I communicate with spirit. I communicate to my higher self, and I open up that channel, and that information that comes in from the divine, I'm able to help heal people or help them heal themselves, we'll say. Mm-hmm. That opened up for me about 2 years ago. And through that process, within the last 6 months, so 6 months ago, during a channeling session, I opened my channel up wider, and I connected with an old soul agreement, and it's a frequency called the purple frequency, and it's a creative frequency from what's called the field of remembrance. So you have to remember that there is a field of remembrance that's broadcasting to all of us to remind us who we are, who we've always been, to return us back to our whole self. And until you tune into it or listen for it or channel it, or like you said, you go out into nature and you open yourself up and it starts flowing through you. Well, I opened that channel and recreated that relationship, and now that frequency flows through me through my creation. So I'm able to now channel this frequency from the remembrance field, and I'm generating remembrance music for humanity to heal themselves.
So, okay, because I feel like I understand that, but I'm sure we can, I think a lot of our audience, an actual story might help ground this. So is there a moment that you can remember, Alex, one client, one story, somebody you've worked with where you watched sound actually change someone? I know you probably have a lot of them, but does one come to mind?
Well, I'm at the point now because of my coherence. I'm like a tuning fork now. So when people come to me, just sitting in my presence, their field is actually already starting to reorganize itself. Transmutation starting to happen in some of the distorted frequencies around them. So healing is actually happening already as people sit with me. Even once they book their appointment, some people are calling me before they even show up and saying that they're starting to feel the shift. So it just depends on what healer you go to and how dialed in their frequency is, how elevated it is. But there were different stages. So I went through all the different stages as a healer, thinking that I was actually causing the healing. And just so you know, no healer does the healing. we're all our own healers and we heal ourselves. But when you sit with a healer, what you're doing is you're sitting inside of a field or a resonance or an elevated frequency that helps your frequency and your energy field clean or clear or transmute any of the dense or heavy traumas or grief or any type of dissonance that's in your energy field. So when people come to me or book a session, just sitting in my field, they're already starting to heal themselves.
So we have this, I have some people on the chat are talking now, wanting to get the name of the album. So it's The Return of the Purple Frequency. And I'm actually going to see if we don't normally play something on here because sometimes we get in trouble. We're going to do it anyway because I want people to, hear this, Alex.
Right.
But I want to know, first of all, because I listened to it last night and I was sitting outside under the full moon. By the way, on my birthday, supermoon yesterday, Alex, listening to this out in the trees and had quite a moment. I'll just put it that way. I mean that in the best of ways. Who is this singing though on this track, specifically The Return of the Purple Frequency? Who is actually singing there?
Okay, so let me explain to you how the process works.
Yeah, I'm so interested.
So as I channel, right? I channel what's called TI. It's called True Intelligence because I'm connected to the field of infinite intelligence or truth. When that frequency comes through me, I'm connected to a true intelligence, but using an AI platform. So inside of an AI platform or container, my frequency comes through, grabs the information, and then generates the song. So I'm utilizing the AI software program to generate the song, but it's coming through my field with my intention, my presence, my resonance, and then the song gets generated. So what you're listening to are technical generated songs that are being pulled from the field of the internet, I guess what you can call it. So they're what's called TI songs. I don't like to say AI because AI, people wrap their mind around that that AI is cold and that AI is there's no presence in it. But when you're bringing your frequency and using AI as an instrument, then you're bringing the soul, you're bringing the life, the presence back into music. So that's why it's medicine music, is because of the frequency and my presence and my intention.
Okay, I love this that it's using the AI as a positive thing as well, because I don't use AI to help me write necessarily, but there are, especially here in Nashville, a lot of people, they're using it just to help really get the message, get what's inside of you out. And AI can be a positive tool in that, as long as we're not, there's obviously the negatives. That's not where we're going. So I love that you're using this as as I call it, co-creating with the universe, because listen, technology, AI, that's all coming from somewhere as well. There's going to be positives, there's going to be negatives with it.
Well, the AI is just a tool. So if you just see it as a tool, like an instrument, right?
Right.
But the human being is picking up that instrument, and they're playing that instrument, and you're using it. And so it's like let's say a drum machine. A drum machine holds thousands of drum sounds that have been inserted in it. But the drum machine doesn't do anything other than sit there. It's neutral. But the human brain brings that creativity. They bring that fire. They bring that presence. They bring that passion, and they utilize that, and they bring that through the drum machine and create an amazing beat. It's the same thing. It's just that people aren't understanding that or unfolding it or unpacking it to that level of understanding.
And so it's funny, Alex, somebody over in the chat said, people are pulling up the music now. Somebody said, I feel like I should maybe do some peyote for this music. And I know he's sort of kidding, but what I say is that you don't need to do the drug. This music, if anybody is utilizing drug to get to a, higher clarity state, I am not condoning that. I'm just saying this music, in my opinion, helps you get there without the drug enhancement. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, because what's encoded in it is the remembrance frequency. So it's not just about the lyrics, it's about the tone and the frequencies that comes through that sound that's bypassing your ears, and it's going into your bones, it's going into your consciousness. It's awakening dormant or forgotten seeds of remembering who you are, fully, wholly, complete. Because you got to remember, people aren't broken. We just forget who we are. We forget our brilliance. We forget the powerful God state that flows within all of us. And so it's awakening, and it's causing remembrance in people. And it's not traditional music. So if you're looking for something that is going to be industry standard or created in a way to hook you, that's not what this does. This opens you up. This drops, remembrance seeds in your field. So it's working on you in your energy field, not necessarily just through your ears.
So we're going to play a clip of it. And by the way, he's not, I think if Alex is saying anything that's making you go like, what the heck? Just know that all music is frequency, period.
That's right.
Which one you're hearing, they're all different. They all speak to different areas of our body and our consciousness, but it all is. So you can't say if you like music at all, and by the way, if you exist at all, you live in frequency. So I just want to put that out there so we can, the naysayers, whether you're agreeing with what's being said or not, that's fine. But if you're listening to music, it does have a frequency. So I just want to say, be careful what you're listening to sometimes. If you're mad after you listen to something, don't listen to that again. It's as simple as that. Is that right, Alex?
Yeah, you got to remember that we have a resonant field. So depending on where you are, you're resonating with certain sounds. So there's a reason why you like certain songs, certain artists, because you're at that stage. But when you're listening to remembrance music, it's opening you up. It's calling you to a higher state, a higher frequency. And you're right. Not everyone's going to resonate with it. And I know that already. It's only for a certain type of people that are open and that they're ready to remember their full brilliance of who they are.
Well, let's listen to this full brilliance real quick. I'm throwing Dre to the wolves here to see if he can pull something up quickly. So this is Alex Urbina. Everybody, we'll dive back in more when we come back. You can head on over to Alex Urbina, urbina.com to find out more. You can also just search the purple frequency wherever you go. And here's a taste of it, guys.
Gas continues.
I used to drown in glitter, draped in screams, built a castle from sound and buried myself in the echo. They called me genius, called me God, called me everything but free. Truth is, I was busy playing a role so divine I forgot I was pretending. But when the lights went down and the crowd was gone, I could hear the ache in the silence, and the silence said, come. I am not who you thought I was, and I am more than you imagined. I'm the memory behind the note, the breath inside the groove, the stillness inside your scream. They buried the man, but you can't bury frequency. You can silence resonance. And so I rise, not in body, but in every artist brave enough to strip down and sing from their soul's merit. I see you.
Woo! Come on. If that doesn't get you going, I just don't know what it is. This is so good, Alex. Like, take out anything you've even... What's great about this to me is that once you know everything going on behind the scenes, it's even more epic. However, you don't have to know. Like, you can just listen to it. Somebody could just find this off the cuff and play it and not realize they're being changed and not have to think too deep about it because the music will kind of do that for you. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, and I'm only speaking from experience because I was the person, the human, spiritual person who birthed these into existence for humanity. I've been changed. There are things happening physiologically going on with me, and my remembrance and my awakening and my healing has happened because you got to understand, as these are coming through, I'm breaking down. I'm emotional. I'm remembering. I'm things are happening to me. So I know that without a shadow of a doubt that they came through for humanity. The same way when you're channeling your writing, you know that the writing's meant for somebody or for a group of people because it feels bigger than yourself. And so I know, because of my own personal experience, as these songs are being birthed, things are happening for me.
I love it. I'm all in, especially driving. This feels like something good to charge you while you're driving. So if you let's sort of at a very basic level here. If someone is listening today and thinks, I don't know about all this, but I am curious. Maybe not even from the music side of things. Let's just talk the bigger picture about, taking a step back, and obviously it's a good time of year with holidays and then the new year coming up. At least this new year. Where would you tell somebody to start? Just to start with, I don't know what's happening here, because we know there's an awakening going on, and some of us have felt it for years, some are just stepping into it, and which can it can be scary if you're not aware of what's going on, and you're like, I don't know what's going inside of me, but I know there's change happening. I know I want to be different. I'm waking up. I don't see things like I used to. Where can somebody start at a very practical place? Where could someone start to be like, I want to expand and I don't know where to start?
Well, I'm going to just say that you've already started. If no matter where you are, you've already started your journey. Just you being birthed into this world, you've already started the journey. There's no right or wrong place to be. Wherever you are is exactly the stage you're at. It's like trying to tell a third grader to learn seventh grade math. You can't. You have to just go one step at a time, one day at a time. And your curiosities, they keep opening you up, and they keep leading you down the path that your higher self has been calling you forward since you were born. And all you have to do is just continue to follow what excites you, what is curious, what feels right in your body. And then I think that, my last advice would be, don't try to awaken. Just breathe, soften, and listen. And your body already knows the way home. If we start learning to listen to our body and just quiet our mind and listen, you'll start to feel. There's a universal language in the field that's calling you to continue to open up and awaken and share and heal yourself.
Alex, what is one belief that you used to hold that you've outgrown? I know there's a lot, hopefully, because we're always evolving, hopefully. But what is one thing maybe God. Most recently that you've shifted perspective on?
I think for me, recently they've been a lot of unconscious beliefs, and I've discovered that they've been beliefs that came in my nervous system when I was born from past lives and ancestral. But I think the belief that you have to work hard for money is for me one of the most recent ones. And I spent my last 40 years working really hard and trading dollars for hard work and service. And I realized that now that it's through our coherence and our resonance that attracts money, attracts abundance, attracts possibilities. And that's a belief system that I just recently have really transcended from. And once I stood into remembering that I broadcast service and I attract abundance. And once I stood into that fully, my identity shifted, and the universe has been responding. And that's probably one of the reasons why I got this call to be on this beautiful broadcast with you guys, because opportunities show up when I stop trying to chase or force or muscle my results. But the universe responds to that.
Flow over force. That is my mantra. It did not used to be. So I'm with you on that shift. But what would you say on that note, though, to knowing that we have there's truck drivers listening, driving a truck is hard work. It's a lot of work. You have to be away. It's physically demanding on your body. And that part won't change, obviously. But what would you say to a truck driver that's like, well, my job actually is hard work? You're like, great, but but it could be a mental shift, right? Not a physical shift.
You know what? If I was a truck driver, I would utilize that cab as my temple. And I would utilize it as my sacred space for me to, decompress, both releasing and letting stuff go, but also to listen and open up and bring in the remembrance that I need. So, obviously, if they're listening to your show, you're opening up their channel for new possibilities and new awakenings. Even just having me on this call, they probably would never have been able to hear this conversation or be open to this type of conversation if someone like you wouldn't have brought it forth for them.
Absolutely. You're right. And it's just obviously music is a universal language. We actually have somebody over in the chat that just said, Alex said, he said, I've got a Viking style war horn and the resonance of the tone from it brings me a really great feeling.
Absolutely.
What do you, is that and it would also, I guess my question would be, where did you get it as well? Where did you get that? Where did it come from? What's the story behind it? But again, so he's understanding frequency, and it's like, if you hear something and it does something good for your soul, it can be as basic as this is what I want to say. If you hear something and it makes your chest sort of open up and you feel good and you feel a little bit lighter, you feel your shoulders kind of hunch and your stomach get tight, it's doing something negative to you. So with anything I say, does this make me feel heavy or light? And I don't mean, and I love sad music. Sad music can also make me feel light. So it's not that, but leave us with, we just have about a minute here left, Alex. Can you just leave our audience with it? Something as simple as that. Like when you hear something, when you have a conversation, this goes for people in your life, opportunities in your life, anything. What would you say that they need to sit and feel with to say, do I move forward? Do I invite more of this in my life or not?
Yeah. So earlier I talked about that your body already knows the way home. Your body is also an instrument, and it's very intelligent. It's highly intelligent, and it knows before your thinking mind knows. So if you start to practice to listen to your body has remembrance codes inside of the cells and your DNA and in your marrow of your bones. And so if you turn into that frequency inward, it'll guide you. It'll tell you what feels good and what doesn't. Like you said, when your chest feels tight, whatever frequency or room you're in or energies of people you're around, it's letting you know, like, we need to walk away into a different direction. Mm-hmm. When you feel open and light and expanded and you got a smile on your face and you just feel that groove, or you blow that Viking horn and it just lights something up inside of you, that frequency is resonating with you and activating the remembrance inside of you. So listen to your body. Your body is always guiding you and telling you exactly where you should be and what areas and where to go. And but I want to just remind us that our body it's an intelligent consciousness, and it's here to guide us to awakening and to expanding and evolving.
Listen to yourselves, guys. Trust yourself, your instincts. You know more than sometimes you give yourself credit. And over in the chat, by the way, too, Gina just said, actually, there is a science behind frequencies, and she's curious about learning more. If you want to learn more, check out this record. Go to alexurbina.com or just wherever you stream your music. Go and look for, just type in The Return of the Purple Frequency. I think you'll get an idea of what soul we might be channeling through this music, by the way. The Return of the Purple Frequency.
You heard it, huh?
Absolutely. I'm no dummy. Alex, it's been such a pleasure. Thank you for joining us today. I hope to stay in touch.
Thank you so much.